Wow, you know that.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Put words in my mouth, man. I can handle myself out here, yeah, but I won't. No,
Rest in peace.
no. That's a shoot,
Macho
brother.
Man.
That is 1,000%.
Randy Savage.
Yeah, because the time has come.
Oh, I didn't think you guys think I was taking you down this road.
New on my Cool J.
Yo, if you in your car right now, put this up. Nah. We ain't taking it slow. I mean, you can if you want to, but if you're on your way to work, you know you're not taking it slow. You late. Took a little bit too extra time to get ready, but fuck it. When you get in your car, you just go. Let me know if you guys know who this is.
You know the fucking vibes.
Shit still knocks, bro. I feel like doing that every day. That sounds like a Sunday. I'm reading the lyrics to this. Yo, they never do. Never at home. I'm gonna let this go. We getting flagged. It's whatever. I know you bop into this. And that's enough for that. Hey, yo, I am your host.
New on my Cool J.
This is episode 51. Thank you, everybody, that participated in episode 50. Let's just go and get this out the way.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
You're listening to
Special characters.
Hey, yo. Thank you, everybody, for coming back for episode 51. And I just want to give a special thank you to everybody. God damn, my face just touched the microphone like that. Pause. We're not cheering for that, but thank you to everybody that helped out in the last episode. Chris, Kevin, Miguel, Harmony, Sam, especially Sam. Sam was in charge of the camera. Thank you. Also to the listeners and the watchers and all the new listeners and all the watchers. Thank you guys for fucking with me right now. I really wish that I could stay fully staffed like that with everybody there just to give their insight and opinions. But until then, you guys got me. That kind of went perfectly. Now that I do it, that wasn't meant to sync so perfectly. But what up? Yo, I must say, that last episode, I had so much fucking fun doing. Like that shit was pretty dope. Like having I'm a little tipsy. Just having everybody that just come through. Like Chris pulled up from Florida. Like Chris got on a plane to come here and do that show, do that episode, do the 50th episode. And like I said, I didn't think that 51 was gonna happen, but through the grace of God, look at God, you know. So hopefully you guys continue with this ride. Hopefully you guys enjoy what's going on, and hopefully you guys stayed all the way to the end of the video, because there was like a little treat like in place. This is probably dropping on Sunday, Sunday or Monday. So I know people don't like the intro that I put for like the videos and shit like that. I even put it for the audio too. You might hear it. It's the loud and then that makes all the extra. Yeah, I'm just vicariously living through Chris right now. So it's like it makes this loud, abrupt noise, but it's there to get your attention if you're watching the video. So what I did was I put in like a Marvel's sneak peek extra credit kind of thing there. You know, I'm devious. And what it was is like a little dance routine. So what inspired that was that I was watching Bob's Burgers, and the girl Tina always makes me laugh because like she has like this little dancing ritual that she does when she goes to sleep. And she's like, this is where I thrash. And I was like, you know, it'll be funny. I'm like, and it's not expected because people kind of know me for being like very like well bound and tight, and this doesn't sound right. But yeah, everybody thinks I'm like mad serious and shit like that. And I guess in person I'm different, but I'm really an introvert. But through this camera, I'm mad pauses. Hey yo, but yeah, I guess like people view me different in person and shit like that. They think I'm like some super serious guy and like I don't like to have fun. And if you're kind of person,
Move this man.
life is too short for that shit. Like yeah, life's about having fun. So I decided to do that whole dance routine, and Isabel, I copied her style because she's one of these girls that that does these little dances, these little TikTok dances. I gotta give it up to TikTokers because not all TikTokers, but some TikTokers, because if you're in public doing these little dances, that shit's hell of embarrassing. So if you stayed around for the video, for the ending, and you saw the video, then you would notice that I shot that in the middle of the park at the Unisphere. And it doesn't matter what time of the day it is, morning, afternoon, night, 3 o'clock in the morning, that shit is packed with people. And not regular people, weirdos. So I recorded that like around 1 o'clock in the morning because that's the time I had free to go record this on a Friday night. And then everybody's just there to chill. Everybody got their kids there. There's a food cart there. People are smoking, walking their dogs, riding their bikes. People are being tourists. And here comes my big ass, like, thrusting in front of the Unisphere with my cameraman this close to my crotch. So it was pretty fucking interesting. Like I'm like, yo, I have to give it to those people that do those dances, because I'm like, yo, you have to have nerves of steel. And I'm not a dancer, but what I am is a quick learner. So I'm a visual learner. Like if you put a book in front of me, I'm not gonna read that shit. I'm never gonna like probably pick it up, and that's probably a really bad thing. But if I were to visually see what we're talking about, if I was to visually see what we're building, what we're fixing, a math equation, whatever, guess what? I got it like that. It's I don't know, my brain works weird like that. So so I learned this girl's dance in like 20 minutes, 21 minutes tops. So it was a bunch of like and it was like really fucking weird, because even like doing the practicing, like this guy was walking his dog, and then he saw me like doing like the hand gestures, and he was like, so he went from walking his dog, and he just sat down, and he was blasting music. So it was funny because he's walking his dog. It's like 1 o'clock. Maybe now it's 1:30 in the morning. He's walking his dog. He's blasting music, and then he sees me like, and he just turned off his music and just started watching me dance. And I'm like,
he's terrible, Your Honor. He's really terrible.
like you really had time like to Like, you really felt that, like, yo, I ain't got nothing else going for me at 1:30 in the morning. I might as well watch this fat guy dance. So it was pretty entertaining. I'll probably do something. I don't know, for the 100th episode, I'll probably do something different. I gotta see what I gotta do to like to step it up now, because like that hundredth episode can't be a repeat of what I did for the 50th. So I gotta see. Yeah. So that was one of the things that happened to me this week. How anything happened with you guys this week? I know I forgot to ask that like a couple of times, but yeah, let me know. Congratulations, guys, if you did do something. Hopefully it's good news. Hopefully we're not cheering for something bad. Like somebody's like, my grandma just died, and we're just like, woo! That'd be so fucked up. Let me cut that out. Yeah. So, yo, this week has been pretty... All right, so I took a week off, which you guys know, which is why you guys got a delayed episode. So, on that week that we took off, this monkeypox... Well, the monkeypox conversation has kind of been around. I just never really like followed up on it like that, even though I should have. Now, I think we briefly mentioned it in the other episode. I can't remember. I'm kind of brain dead right now, but I think we briefly mentioned it on the last episode, but I don't think we got into full detail. So, yeah. So we were having a debate at my job, which we shouldn't be having these debates at. So we were talking about the transmission of monkeypox, right? Yes, I didn't even know monkeys had transmissions, but go figure. Now, I believe in the last episode we said as of right now it's at a selective group of people. How can I word this nicely? Well, as of right now, they're saying it's really in the gay community. I think the gay men community. And that's where it's really spreading and spreading at and all this shit. So we had a conversation at my job and we were talking about monkeypox, and as I mentioned before plenty of times on this show, there's no more than 5 guys there, maybe 6. I think we just hired somebody. But as we're having this whole conversation, I'm reading the paperwork, and this is why I said and support a specific group of people, because that's what my paperwork said. And I work in the medical field. Also, the conversation that we were having was like, all right, so they were saying that there was a vaccine, and everybody's like, nah, fuck that. We're not doing another vaccine because they did it so fast. Because with Corona, when they came out with their vaccine, they were like, all right, we're going through trials. We're going to figure it out before we give it to the public. And this one was like, yo, we magically have a vaccine. And I'm like, all right, that's a little weird that you guys have a vaccine already. But they were saying that it's like related to the smallpox community. So I was like, oh, okay. All right, now I kind of get why you guys have it now. Now, the other thing was that I'm not eligible for the vaccine, even if I did want it. A lot of people were like, okay, because a lot of people, I guess, trust their government. So they were like, all right, so I want the vaccine. And when they met the eligibility for it, it was like, you have to be a gay man. You have to have sexual intercourse with men, or if you're bisexual and you're like women and men. And this is what this whole conversation was about. So as I stated, there was 5 guys in my office, and I'm very blunt and I'm very to the point. So we were conversating, and I'm like, do we really need a meeting for this? I'm like, I know you guys can't ask, like, and if you guys are gay, but guess what? I can ask. And I was like, all right, out of 5 of us, 3 of you guys are married. I'm single, and I don't know what the other 2 are, because I just said there might be a 6th. So I was like, anybody here gay? Everybody's like, no. But I guess that's a stupid question, because everybody be like, no, never, no. Why? Why would you ask that? So it was like, all right, this. I'm like looking at my HR person. I was like, well, this ended this section pretty quick. And she was just looking at me like,
Y'all don't say that.
and I'm like, oh God, I'm going to have another meeting because of what I just said. So I'm like, so I got brought into the office and I'm like, yo, this is what your criteria says. Like, there's a whole sheet about this rundown. And I'm like, I get it. It's through like touching something or somebody touching you and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, but that's the main community right now. I'm like, so that's why I said what I said, even if it might have been like rude or whatever, but it's to the point. And to be honest, if you don't know if your coworker's gay and like you work with them every day for long hours, then you're just a bad judge of character, if you ask me. I don't know. Now, this was the discussion that came up next. This, of course, the HR person wasn't there, but this was the discussion around the people in the office, and I found this way too much fun that I had to bring it here.
You know the fucking vibes?
So we were talking about like, all right, I guess the question came down to people that are down low, and I'm like, okay, how can you tell? I'm like, somebody that's down low has I don't know. Down low is somebody that doesn't admit that they're, for the people that wouldn't know. Down low is like the group of people that don't admit that they're gay. They have like a whole facade, like they have like a whole family and shit like that. And it was like, it's cool, it's whatever, that's your choice. So the whole thing was, we were like, okay, this is amongst gay men. And I'm like, but there was just a case of a chick, right? And she caught monkeypox like around her facial area, like around her mouth, if you guys know.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Not anywhere near that bitch. But I'm pretty sure this is mad fucking insensitive. But yo. So we were like, okay, in that situation, and that's a wild situation. We were being petty and we was like, yo, okay, so who is to blame for that portion right there? The guy that's like pretending, unless he's bisexual, and that's a whole different other case which we did mention. But we were like, all right, so this guy's out here giving out monkeypox. And he like, how can't you tell you got monkeypox? And I was like, that's fucked up on his part. Right? And then I was like, wait a minute. She's just going around sucking a random dick. I was like, you're not even looking. And then you're not even noticing the bumps all over his skin. So I was like, who's at fault here? And the girls are like, oh, it's the guy's fault. And I'm like, I think it's her fault. So we were just like deadlocking this conversation. And it was like the most fucking funniest, inappropriate conversation to have at work. And I'm like, it brought up good questions. I'm like, yo, because it made me think of shit. I wasn't supposed to talk about this shit this early, but fuck it, we're here. Because I noticed in the last show they mentioned that there was like, yo, every time you say you're going to talk about a subject, you never fucking talk about the subject. And I'm like, I be forgetting. It's late. I'm tired. But this conversation comes down to a clip that came out about a week ago. Yeah, it's been about a week ago. It came out. I'm gonna say in the shade room, but I'm not 100% sure. Now stick with me because the reason this conversation is important to this monkeypox conversation was that this girl that's kind of been like sleeping with rappers was not recently, because about a year ago, about half a year, no, I would say 6 months. 6 months ago, she was diagnosed with AIDS, right? So this girl was like really cute, real baddie, real nice in the eyes, had the nicest green eyes, and I can get why guys would want to get with her because she looked like the type. So this girl went from she was still a skinny thing, but she had like a nice body. And then she dropped down to like 88 pounds. Like, right? Shorty was like superbly sick like the majority of the time. Like she would like say she wasn't feeling good. and then she was in and out of hospitals, and then she got the results one day that she has AIDS. So while she was having this conversation, and as I mentioned in the last episode, like, yo, everybody's so quick to put their shit out there. I know somebody could say that's the same shit about me, but that's a little bit of a different story. But I guess she's being informative. So what happened was she got to the doctor. She got her diagnosis. I guess she asked how long has she had this so she could figure out who to call, right? So to figure out who to call, or maybe who even gave it to her, right? And they told her she's had it for 8 to 10 years. 8 to 10 years. Do you know the fucking damage you know the damage guys do in 3 minutes and then just cause an issue for 18 fucking years, 21, 26 if they go to college? Yeah. 10 years of fucking around, literally fucking around. And then she's been tied to like high profile celebrities, rappers. I think they said Dave East, Chris Brown and shit like that. Chris Brown, coconut. No, let me just move on. I'm sorry. I apologize, Breezy. Yeah, 10 years is a lot. 10 years is like that fucking SpongeBob clip. 10 years later, and it's like you never thought, not once, you're fucking around with mad people to go get fucking tested. Like, that's a wild thing. Like, that's crazy. I get tested and I just fuck around with myself because I don't know my body that well sometimes, but that's an insensitive joke. Let me fucking stop.
You hate it, but you love it so much.
But 10 years is fucking crazy. I'm not trying to make light of that situation, but 10 years, like, oh, come on. Common sense is common sense. If you're fucking around, if you're out there, like, you can't trust every person that you talk to, that you see, because they're probably fucking around and they're doing something too. Hence, you not knowing where you got it from. So she was like, oh, I could have got it from like tattoos or some shit. And I'm like, that would have been hepatitis and some extra shit before you notice that you had full-blown AIDS now. So 10 years, bro. Like, fuck the celebrities. Like, no. Whatever. Poor choice of words. So it's like, it's just not celebrities, right? So Shorty's 26, so she's been doing this since 16. Like, I mean, I'm not shaming. I apologize. It's just the way my mind rambles sometimes. It's pretty bad. So 10 years, that's regular people too. That means somebody that she could have like met on like on a dating app or some shit, or met at like Best Buys or some shit, could have gotten it from her and they don't know, and shit lays dormant. A lot of people don't know that. People think like, oh, just because they don't get the symptoms right away, they don't got nothing. That's why people don't get tested. And then boom, some shit just pulls up to your front door, and it's like,
You are watching a master at work.
Insensitive again. But yeah. So that's 10 years of going on a fucking rampage. That's other people not knowing. That's other people that's probably still raw dogging everybody too, giving that shit away. It's just a lot. And it was like, when I hear about this, I know the AIDS epidemic was a huge thing, and it's like, we're in a corona epidemic, and it's like, we don't fucking learn. It's fucking crazy that humans could keep making the same fucking mistake over and over and over and over, and it's like, And it's like, I'm hearing this conversation, and I'm like, everybody's cool with this? I'm like, hold up.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Like, yeah, nah, that's fucking nuts. And just like, I guess, the conversation that came out of this one was like, AIDS isn't what it used to be. And I'm like, that doesn't make it any better. Like, what? I'm like, we're not gonna play that off like it's the common cold. Like, we're not doing that. Like, oh, AIDS is acting up. Like, nah, we're not playing that off. That's still a very serious thing. It's fucking wild. Fucking use protection. Be mindful of your surroundings and shit like that. I don't know. Oh, side tangent. Because AIDS is transmitted sexually and through needles, tattooing, and let me tell you about this one time that yeah, I be fucking coming up with the worst side tangents, like at the worst time. So, whatever.
Oh, yeah, mama.
So, I'm a diabetic, as I said. Like I just mentioned, like she divulged her medical information, and sometimes I divulge my medical information. So, I had to take insulin at work once, right? So while I don't have a designated area. Like I don't work in a hospital. I work like with corporate, right? So if I was working in a hospital, it'd be much more easier. I could just go anywhere, boom, done. And like just go into one of these little offices, take my insulin and just fucking keep it going, throw it in a Sharpie container and continue on with my life. But no. I'm in corporate. So while I'm there, and if I have to like inject myself with insulin, I have to go to like the locker rooms or like the men's bathroom stall. And I'm letting you know right now, you cannot concentrate trying to put a needle into your body when somebody's blowing it up in the stall next to you. It's not happening. So I'm trying to inject myself, and I have like the syringe out, and like I had to. All right, so little educational purposes right here. So if I wanted to inject myself with insulin, it has to be on like the lower level of my stomach. If not the lower level of my stomach, it has to be the side of my thighs, and they want me to use under my arms. Like how? Like, are you seeing this? Like, I can't do that. Like, stab, squeeze, stab, and then insert, like inject the insulin. Nah, dumbest shit ever. So like I just had like a whole argument with my doctor over that. So yeah, I have to like so that week that I did that, right? I had to like I wear joggers. So there's like that's what I do. Like instead of because joggers kind of seem like slacks, but if they really don't pay attention at my job like that, I could get it with joggers. So that day I was wearing joggers, and you know if you use joggers, you kind of don't have like a zipper portion, so you got to kind of pull down. So I had to inject insulin into my thighs that day because like I was getting scarring on my stomach from like all the punctures that I already done. So I have my shirt tucked under my chin, my pants a little lowered. I'm squeezing a part of my thigh and I'm injecting insulin. And right where I'm doing this shit, the fucking maintenance lady walks in and catches me injecting myself with insulin. And she goes, "Oh my God." And like she ran out of the office. So I'm like out of the locker room. So I'm like, great. Everybody's going to think I do heroin at my fucking workplace. So to this day, she'll see me and she'll be like she doesn't like want to shake my hand and shit like that. And I'm like, bitch, this is the good kind. Like, like this is beneficial towards me. Like, all right. Fucking worse, bro. So, yeah. I don't know where the hell I left off from that one, but yeah, that was like a super side tangent. So let me see what else I got on my docket. Okay. So, oh, I don't know if you guys are religious. Like I'm not super religious. I can't quote you shit. Like I can't. I'm not that nice. Like I can't. I can be like, oh, like I still don't know what John 3:16 is, and I mentioned that a couple episodes ago that I was gonna like read it to you guys, and guess what? I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. So, what brings me to this conversation was I've been lied to, right? I think this is gonna be the common topic for this episode. So, I've been lied to. I think we've all been lied to, unless you're super religious and you do your knowledge and you do your background checks and you dig down through like Google and Wikipedia, and then you're like, all right, this is what that shit really is. So I Googled what an angel is supposed to look like. And what I saw was not what these white bitches get tattooed on their skin. Like, yo, this whole time, bro, like this whole time, I thought an angel was like somebody with like my kind of body and they had wings. Like, that's what I always thought. Boy, was I completely wrong. That looks nothing like that. You know what it looks like? It's bro, it just blew my mind. It threw me for a loop. I was like, yo, that looks like a goddamn Pokemon. Like, an angel looks like a Pokemon. It looks like that starfish. I forgot the name of that Pokemon, but it's weird. And it looks like a starfish covered with feathers. And I guess that's where they get the feathers from. But I'm like, who at one point did they decide, oh, let's just add like a humanoid body to like some feathery wings? And it was like, oh, that's an angel. I'm like, that's cool. No, we were wrong. So wrong. This Bible is a trip. So, yo, so it looks like, it kind of looks, well, the one that I saw, the reason that triggered everything was like, what I saw was, it looked like a gigantic jellyfish, right? That expands out. And I'm like, everybody was like, oh, that's what angels look like. So I'm like, the real religious people are like, oh, that's what angels look like. And that's what? Nah. What do you mean? Google it. And I'm like, holy shit, that's what angels are supposed to look like. And the Bible was like, oh, nah, they cool. What? Like, nah, don't be scared. Nah, bro. The way that joint looked with all those eyes and those tentacles or whatever it was, you can't tell me. Like, if you Google that right now, you can't tell me aliens don't exist. Like, at all. That looks like a fucking alien to me. Please, the Vatican's about to shut me down. But yo, they look like aliens. And I'm like, I'm sorry, when I get quiet like this, my mind is going in a million different places. I don't know where to take it. But yeah. Looking at that drawing, that design, I'm like, all right, you can't tell me like, all right, we're the only humans that exist, then there's no other forces out there. Like, God wouldn't create something else. If you look at that, that's something else. Or better yet, that's the original thing, and we're the something else. And then I'm like, okay. I start thinking about the ocean, and guess what? Squids or octopus, those are fucking aliens. Those things are different. Hold on, let me hit that.
Different.
Super different. Like I can't even like explain it to you. So hold on, let me look up something real quick. I know I just said I wasn't gonna look up John 3:16, but hold up. Let me see. All right, so this is what they were saying. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a spectacle. This is what they're saying is gonna happen when the angels pull up. And like I just said, it looks like an alien or like a squid or some shit, and it's like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm cool. I'm like, all right. So I guess my mind was like, all right, so how can you not believe that aliens do not exist? If you see something like that, I'm not thinking like, oh, that's an angel. Oh, that's one of God's creation. I'm thinking Mars is here. Like, Mars bars are here. They're here to take us away. They're here to anally probe us and do all this shit. And you're telling me like, oh, nah, they cool. Like, do you get what I'm saying? They're telling us to be like, Sky Daddy, is that all right? And okay,
Daddy, chill.
like, if he's sending that here, that's exactly what I'm saying. Sky Daddy, chill.
Daddy, chill.
Like, nah. And then the religious people are gonna be like,
I seen him.
Like, nah, no, never seen that before. And if you've seen that before, then how the hell can't you believe in the Big Bang, dinosaurs, and all the shit that we came out of a fucking ocean and shit like that? Fucking all these things, and it's like, yeah, I'm good on that. Like, always, like, all right, this is what I'm saying, side tangents and shit like that. So, if that's my guardian angel, right? Because these angels are supposed to be huge, right? They're supposed to be gigantic. And I guess that, see, this is my mind. I'm guessing, like, they always say, like, God knows everything, God sees everything. And I'm like, all right, it's supposedly because of these angels, because they have eyes all over the goddamn body. I'm like, nosy fuckers. And then I'm like, okay, if that's my guardian angel, if, like, this gigantic thing is like my guardian angel, like, as big as it is, I'm like, yo, you could have saved me a couple of times from embarrassing myself. Like, you slacking on your job, buddy. You got to do better. But yeah, that was like this whole conversation that was going on in my head about angels and like why how they look different and how I've been lied to. And I'm like, I don't see nobody getting those tattooed on their skin. But anyway, let's move on to the next portion. So I have a grind my gears portion. And I'm gonna get so much shit for this. Like, whatever. But I was told I play too much video games. And my gamer friends, I know. It's bullshit because I haven't played with you guys in a minute. Like, I haven't played with anybody in a minute. I haven't been on in like almost 2 to 3 weeks. I haven't really been on. I've gotten on maybe like once or twice for like 20, 30 minutes, but I haven't been on. I haven't done what I was supposed to. I'm gonna probably not even pass my season pass. Like, I'm really behind on that shit too. I think about like 19 days to finish it, but whatever. So the reason I say this grinds my gears is because I don't get why people don't recognize this as like as a real thing. Like, not as in like, oh, he's just playing video games. I'm like, this is an escape. Like I don't get why you don't see like this is kind of like a little skill. This is no different from going out and playing golf. Or yeah, that's what people do when they're older. They play golf. I have yet to get into that. Nikki, I've seen you've been doing your thing. I might get into that shit soon. But yeah, I'm like, you can't really like see that. Do you know how many muscles are in your thumb that has to control those little players on the screen? You know how many times you have to strain your eyes to see what's going on the screen so you don't get fucking murdered? Oh, because I play Call of Duty, Mr. Funny Hands. Yeah. It's like a whole thing, and I'm like, I don't get what you don't get. I'm like, why do you get so mad? Like, ladies, why do you guys get so mad over that? Like, now, I can see if I was one of those lazy sacks of shit, that's all they do is play video games for hours, don't move, don't shower, don't brush their teeth, just don't do nothing. They just, yeah, I get that. But the reason I guess like this is gonna be like, oh, I'm putting my business out there, but whatever. It's like I like to do things. I like to still go out. I still like to like go out to eat. I like to go see places. I like to take pictures of shit. Like cinematography and photography is my first love, so that's what I like to do. I just play video games to blow stress. Like, now if you hear me play, that doesn't sound like it. Like, if you hear me play Call of Duty and be like, motherfucker, bullshit. It's still me relieving stress. So I don't get any mosquitoes right now. I don't get to complain. And the biggest joke I had with my friend Samantha, because she's my fellow gamer, is that that's my ASMR people. Damn, these things are chewy. Is that after we play like a couple of rounds, joking on the podcast, After we play a couple of rounds, we go to each other. All right, time to go be an adult. And then we go things. She'll go continue whatever she has to do, and I'll go continue whatever I have to do. Like, even when I'm streaming, I'll be like, oh shit, I'm late. I gotta go do this shit. I gotta go to the beach. I gotta go to the mall. I gotta go to this restaurant. I gotta go. Like, you'll hear it. My streaming services interrupt so abruptly, and it's like, I guess he has to do shit. And these are some good ass Skittles. I'm hungry as fuck. I don't have my cookies, so I don't have my cookies today because I ain't go to work. So let's get this going. Yeah, man. Like, ladies, do you know how annoying that is to hear that shit? They're like, you're doing something that you love, that you like to do. And somebody comes in all the time, actually, why are you doing it? And that like, you guys don't get that. Like, I guess, do I want to make this? Because then I wonder, nah, I'm going to make this general. I'm not going to just make it towards ladies. Like, people, do you not understand that your partner's is doing something that they love? Like, come on. Like, nobody goes into whatever your hobby is and tells you to go stop doing it. If you have a fucking mini train set in your basement, if my girl had a mini train set in the basement, I would not give a shit. Like, that you're playing with that. Go ahead, go have fun. Like, that's what you like to do. That's what gets you off.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
With excitement. So yeah, that really became like a whole thing for me. Like a whole conversation. Like I was playing earlier today and I got like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm playing this game to rank up this gun so I could take it to this other place whenever I get the chance to go play there and the gun's fully built to be used. I just got complain. So, yeah. God damn, I can't tell which way this podcast is going. But let's move forward.
We interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
All right. So, let's just shoot over to the cool report. Now, the main topic that everybody's talking about is this chick, Brittany Griner. Griner? I don't know. I don't care. I don't watch women's basketball. Mostly because they can't dunk. Mostly because it's not any good. Mostly because there's no fans. Mostly because they don't really stream that shit. Mostly because it's no good. But that's just me. So, all right, side tangent. So, this comedian, I can't remember what the fuck his name was. He was talking about the WNBA, and the WNBA players are complaining about how they don't make enough money because it's not fair. And then we were like, I thought you guys wanted equality, and I was like, I'm all for equality in the NBA WNBA thing. So I was like, why don't they just make the league co-ed and see how it goes from there? And crickets. Also, this new NBA don't play like the old NBA. Like, I remember motherfuckers getting fucking thrown places, like hard foul, like elbow to the face, punch to the face. This new NBA don't do that. They're kind of like really nice to each other. I don't know, but they were talking about, like, imagine. Oh, this came off. This came off like a tweet. I forgot. And it was like, yo, imagine LeBron James in the WNBA, and then Donald Trump was like, he will only watch LeBron James if he was in the WNBA. And I'm like, do you know how bad that would be? That would be terrible. Like, first of all, they don't have enough money to afford LeBron. They're going to have to stop paying all the girls in the WNBA just to match half of LeBron's salary. That's just one. And then 2, they're going to have to remove that no dunking rule. 3, I don't even think he needs the rest of the teammates. He could just go by himself. 4, fucking couple of homicides. I was going to say double homicides, but a couple of homicides. Like, it's just bad news bears. So, back to the person of attention in the WNBA, which is Brittany Griner. So she got bagged up in Russia, and for bringing in a weed pen. And I don't give a shit what any of you guys say. That's considered smuggling. I don't care. So she was sentenced to 9 years, right? Now, everybody and their mother's like, oh my God, that's not fair. We need to go get her. Totally forgetting that she brought in a drug into another country. They're totally forgetting that. Like, everybody's just forgetting that. Like, oh, that's not such a big thing. Motherfucker, do you know the punishment for drugs in other places that aren't America? I think that's the shit about America, is that Americans just feel so... This is why the world hates us. Because we feel so entitled to shit. And then people just talk. And this has nothing to do with a race thing. Because if it was really a race thing, guess what? There's people in our own backyards that are serving more than 9 years for marijuana. And you're not fucking fighting for them. And I saw the best meme today, and they were talking about, it was a guy sleeping in his bed, and they're playing Locked Up by Akon, and it was like, if I was in jail, and if Brittany Griner heard that I was in jail, and the person was comfortably sleeping in the bed, and we know that's so fucking true. So that was the stance that I'm taking. I'm like, yo, 9 years is a lot, but we're not going to pretend that it's not enough another country, a Russian country. Like, come on. How many times do we make jokes about Russia? Like, oh, nah, we're not fucking with them. You going to bring drugs there? Also, Brittany, you said some anti-American shit. I'm very American. I don't know if you guys get that from my podcast, but I really fucks with America because I live here. So, they were basically asking her, this is maybe 6 or 7 years ago on TMZ. They was like, oh, why aren't you playing for like Indiana or some shit? And she was like, no, until they fix this, until they fix that, I won't play. I refuse to be oppressed or some shit. She said something along those lines, right? Motherfucker, you went to Russia. Like, communism. Mad things. Even the fucking bears are oppressed. Like, what the? You contradicted your whole self, and then you bigged up another place that does the same exact shit. Like what are we talking about, lady? So that's my other reason why I say, yo, fucking leave her. Like, don't even bring her back. So the other shit was like, all right, let me just read off to you. I had it earlier. I don't know if it's gonna pop up. There are places where if you bring in drugs, it's a wrap. Let me see. Countries that have high penalties: China, Indonesia, Iran, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Vietnam. Let me tell you one thing about Singapore. They do not fuck around. So if you bring in drugs, doesn't matter the amount, does not matter. Death penalties for drug offenses. Let me read them again. China, Indonesia, Iran, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, and Vietnam. So it doesn't matter the amount that you have. It's a death penalty. So imagine if she snuck that shit over there. Like, come on. That's their rules. Like we can't take this American arrogance over there and be like, you can't do shit to me. Nah, that's stupid. That's a stupid way to fucking think. Like, you broke a law, and guess what? We ain't got no pull over there. We're fighting over fucking high gas prices because of them, and fucking Joe Biden selling our shit to China, but that's a whole different conversation. So the fuck did you think was gonna happen? Oh, because you played there a couple of times? You were a token, and they fucking used you. And guess what? Dave Chappelle said it before. People of color don't make the best fucking tokens. That applies for you, me, anybody that's of color. We don't make the best bargaining products, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, when they denied her, they were like, oh, we have somebody that you could that you could choose. What's this guy's name? Hold up. Because he's an arms dealer, right? So he was an arms dealer. It was like, oh, we'll release her if you give us this guy. And they was like, yeah, nah, they're good. Not for her. So if you guys ever seen the movie Lords of War, the person that they're asking for, which is, Lords of War is based off like real shit, but fake shit. But basically they're asking for Yuri Orlov, which is basically the Russian gun smuggler and gun trafficker to the other parts of the world. That's who they're asking for, because we arrested him not that long ago. And that's who they want, and 2 other people just like that. So you think I'm going to give you, if I'm trading for bodies, I'm not trading a fucking WNBA player for Yuri Orlov, a fucking major arms dealer. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, so again, you can keep her. Send her to the gulag. Maybe if she gets out in the first round, then she could go fight for her fucking freedom. Also, like, I don't know, man, because it's a weed pen, and I get the gripe that it's a weed pen. Like, how quickly can you inhale that shit? Because that's what my whole thing was. I was like, wait, can you just do like one massive on the fucking pen before the fucking custom agents see that shit? Like, what can you do with that shit? Like how can you get rid of that? Like, that's a wild shit. It makes me think of Super Troopers, where like they're eating, like he ate like 3 fucking plastic bags of fucking weed and some mushrooms, and I'm like, you never seen Super Troopers. You should have did that shit. You should have just ate your fucking pen. You should have put that shit in your prison wallet. You should have put that shit in your snatch. You should have did something, everything but get caught with that fucking pen. Like, you're bugging. Oh, and shit. American arrogance, as I just said. All right. Only here I get it. Like, I get what the whole race divide would be about, because this OnlyFans chick got caught with like a gram of coke inside her snatch. I don't know how the fuck they figured that shit out. Somebody had loose lips. Double entendre. Don't even ask me how. So that shit fell out, and they didn't hit her with all that shit. I think she was even facing. I think she's out already. She's not even facing time. And I'm like, that's the difference between the American court system and Russia. I'm like, certain people take that shit more serious. So let's go over to the next topic. Sorry, Yuri. And I know that's not the guy's actual name. I'm just too lazy to go look for the guy's actual name. Like, I'm pretty sure I butchered her name like a couple of times. So the next person I want to talk about is this shorty from Texas who killed her man at the gas station. Bitch had money to burn. Poor fucking judgment on my end just now. So shorty got arrested for setting her man on fire. He died. He passed away. And my whole conversation with this was like, how much is gas in Texas? Because like, I'm not wasting my hard-earned money to set somebody on fire. I'm sorry, gas is too expensive for that. That's just a wild thing right now. I'm like, yo, gas is almost $7-8 on the west side of the fucking U.S. So yeah, that's a lot. She's in Texas, so I'm pretty sure it was pretty up there too. Like, you gotta really hate somebody to set them on fire with with gasoline. Like, at least use propane or like lighter fluid, not real gasoline. Like not the shit that's scarce right now. I don't care how much Joe Biden keeps saying, oh, the prices have never been lower. Well, another poor joke I was going to make. I'm catching myself. So, such a bad joke. Yeah. So my whole thing with this whole thing was like, she didn't really think that shit out. Like, stick with me. Like, shorty went to the clerk, and the clerk should have seen something weird about that, because she only asked for 50 cents worth of gas. I don't know how much of 50 cents worth of gas is coming out, but I'm pretty sure I don't know. That's a wild number. Like 50 cents worth of gas. What the fuck are you doing? Like the clerk should have been like, "What the fuck are you doing with 50 cents worth of gas?" And she probably would have been stupid enough to be like, "I'm gonna go set him on fire." Like 50 cents worth of gas. So the reason why I'm like, "Yo, that's
Different.
is because dude was in the back seat. Like he wasn't even outside of the car. He was chilling in the back seat. He must have been on his phone doing whatever, playing Candy Crush or some shit. Because how don't you notice your girl pouring gas into the car? Like the minute my girl pours gas into the car, all right, I'm outside the car. Like I'm not staying in the car unless the child safety locks are on. I'm like a little detective today. So unless the child safety locks are on, but then she has like, did she crack the window? Like I just because if she cracked the window, poured the gas in, I get it. But then, as I just said again, once I see gas, smell gas, feel gas, I have to move because I don't think she was like super like equipped with it, if one might ask. Like I don't think like she had like the lighter already and she was pouring it like that, like it was a flamethrower. I don't even think she was on that time. I think he might have been like, yo, you ain't gonna do it. When somebody spends 50 cents worth of gas in a high gas thing, they're gonna do it. So yeah, my question was like, okay, you did that and you just torched your getaway vehicle, so now you gotta stay. And Shorty wasn't the fittest, so I don't think she was getting far with the running or walking or any of that shit, which is fucking nuts. So yeah, that was kind of crazy down there in Texas. And I think she only got 2nd-degree murder, if I'm correct, unless I'm mixing it up with another one. Because how do you only get 2nd-degree murder when you intentionally set them on fire? Because I don't think it's a crime of passion. So we were talking about crime of passion and what's premeditated. And I don't think that's a crime of passion because Shorty planned to have if she did it the way I'm thinking, she planned to have the doors locked. She planned to have the window cracked. She took a whole walk to get 50 cents worth of gas. She went over there. She hit the little thing down and to activate the gas. She had like a lighter. And she's a real smoker. You know, I don't know. She had matches. If she had matches, if she just got the, like yeah, my mind just rambles, bro. It just goes to all these places except for the right places. So yeah, I'm trying to think how she could do it and he not really react, like him not really be like, oh fuck this shit, because I don't even think the crack would be big enough to like just like you would have to have a match and just like or throw your lighter. She had to have a Zippo if you're throwing it into the back seat, right? Because a regular Bic lighter isn't going to do the job. That's what I'm saying. How was this done? Like, this is such a wild topic that I really want to continue on with. Like, I feel like I could talk about this topic all day. Like it's just such a wild topic. Like, what made, like, fire? Like, fire is a wild thing to do. Like, shooting somebody, I get. Stabbing somebody, I kind of get. But setting somebody on fire, they did something. Like, I don't mean to like downplay like this guy's death because it's fucked up that he died. But I'm like, in that situation, for somebody to bring you to set them on fire is a wild thing. Like, hear me out. So you poured the fluid on them. You had to get your fingers together to light the lighter. And then you watch them as they scream because they're on fire. Because like it's a lot of pain. And then that justifies whatever they did. Like, I need to know what that person did. Like, it had to be some real, like, unforgivable shit. Like kids had to be touched. Like, setting somebody on fire for cheating is like, I don't, like, nah. It had to be something so grotesque, something so vile to set somebody on fire. Unless, because think about it. They're going to be flailing. They're going to be screaming. You're going to smell burning skin. It's a lot. And, like, it's going to get on your clothes. You're going to have that scent on you. That's just such a wild thing to do to somebody. And it's like second-degree murder. Like, why not first? Like, how did that go from 1 to 2? Like, that's a wild thing. All right, this topic has run its course a little bit too much. So let's go to the next one. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! This just keeps getting. This is not the best cool report. This cool report is filled with death. So this McDonald's worker was shot. I'm gonna say about 3 days ago in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy, which is not the place I want to get shot at because it's called Bed-Stuy Do or Die. So this McDonald's employee got into a whole altercation with a customer, right? And the customer got cold fries, and instead of like correcting it right away or be like, all right, yo, they got into an argument. Now, I don't know what words were said between the argument, but this guy so happened to have a gun, and he let the gun off, and guess what? The employee got fatally wounded, and he just passed away from his wound, his injury today. So that sucks. And all I could think of is you threw your life away for some cold potato. Like, that's a wild thing. Like, this reminds me of like the bodega thing where the guy got killed over a bag of chips, which is another. Potatoes are killing everybody. Goddamn. So, fam. Again, not to make light of the situation, but cold French fries are good. Like, I like cold French fries better than warm French fries. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm weird. And it's like, what could have happened to make that transition go smooth? We're like, all right, yo, you got cold fries, which I'm going to be like, I will probably say something too, but I don't know. Maybe those fries were on the side and he just gave them away. Or like he just caught the bad batch of fries. I don't know. Still not worth losing your life over. Still not worth taking a life over. And it's like, I need to know what kind of fries they were. Like, were they value fries? Because I'm going to be tight if it was value fries. I'm not getting my life taken over value fries. It has to be medium and above. Like, you're not shooting me for small fries either because that's only at 10 cents different. Like, I need to know what size were the fries. Were they, like, that's just a crazy thing to think you're just going to go to work, shit's going to be all right. Because you're already working a shitty job, right? Maybe he wasn't. Maybe that's, I don't know. Like, I feel like he could have been working to be the manager or some shit. But you're already most likely working a job you don't like. And I don't know why people take shit personal. Like, I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to give you the cold fries if he did give you cold fries. I'm like, he doesn't benefit from that. I'm pretty sure the argument that transpired off of that didn't go well. Because this isn't the first time somebody's been hurt or injured over fucking food at McDonald's. Like, some shorty did some other shit like that similar down south. I'm going to say around the Texas area too, where she got into a whole fucking fisticuffs over cold fries. And I'm like, you could just be like, yo, my fries are cold. Can I get another set? And if they don't oblige, call corporate. They'll send you some fucking free fries. They'll send you to another McDonald's to go get free fries. All this losing your cool, your attitude, and all this shit, it's like I said it a couple of episodes ago, yo. Ego is not your amigo. Like, because that's all it really is. You're getting into an argument over food, value food, fast food, not the best food. I'm like, those fries are most likely going to kill you. And you're over there taking a life for fries that are killing you. Fucking nuts. And it's like, I've never been that. I've been angry at in the McDonald's line before because they were taking too long on my food. but never enough to cause physical harm. Like, that's a wild thing. I think that's gonna be a wild conversation. And guess what? They're gonna blame that shit on like the gun law. Like, oh, this is why we need stricter rules with gun laws in New York City. They're already strict. Like, I was having this conversation a week ago, and I don't think I mentioned it in the last episode because I forgot. But we were talking about we were having a gun laws conversation, and I think you guys know that I'm very firm that a lot of this shit is from mental illness, because you have to be mentally ill to kill somebody for some fucking value fries. So we were talking about mental illness, and they were basically trying to say mental illness is a bullshit cop, and I'm like, really? And I'm like, give me all the cases, like give me an actual number where somebody was killed with a legal gun. Like, give me that number. So let me see if I can find that number. Let me see if we can find all this information while I'm here. Number of murder cases. No Google, that's stupid. With legal, that's lethal, fucking Google. With legal guns. See, look, they're giving me fucking research from 1993 to 2011. Guns used in crimes. That's not the same shit. All right, come on. Murder victims by weapons. See, I need to know how many of those guns were legal, because I always have this conversation. So it's only giving me the statistics of like people that were gunned down, but I'm like, that's not the same conversation I'm having. So the conversation I'm having is how many times were those guns actually legal? I know you're going to bring me Uvalde and shit like that. And guess what? To me, still mental illness. Now, the most you could bring to me is that kid from Minnesota that went to go shoot people. He was a piece of shit. Kyle, whatever. He had an agenda. He knew he was going to do shit. And, like, I know that's going to lead to a whole nother fucking conversation if I really mention this shit, but I think that kid was a piece of shit. Like, I don't care how people could justify that shit. He went out of his way to go do that shit. So, shit, where was I at? Oh, so we were having a conversation. I was like, all right, how many of those guns were legal? And they gave me some bullshit number. And I was like, all right, now how many of those guns were illegal? Because you're making it hard for taxpayers, American citizens that don't have felonies to go get a gun. But guess what? A criminal could still go get a gun. I could go get a gun right now if I really wanted to. And, like, I could do a whole documentary of how I could get a gun in, like, 10 minutes. And guess what? I could go to town with that shit if I really wanted to. But why would I? I have no purpose. I'm trying to get to 100 episodes, baby. So, yeah. I'm like, that was my whole conversation. I'm like, they were trying to make it like, oh no, we should just take guns away from everybody. And then I'm like, that's stupid. Like, we seen history when that happens. Shit. If that's the case, look at London. London has no guns in the street, but they have the highest stabbing rating. Jamaica has a no gun policy law over there. Guess what? Motherfuckers still get shot over there. So it doesn't matter. You're just making it hard for citizens to defend themselves. And this was not supposed to be a whole gun speech, but guess what? It is. So, yeah, that was like some crazy shit. Yeah. So, rest in peace to everybody that was like, I think it was, rest in peace to the two people in the cool port. Like, I didn't mean to make light of your situation, but like, that's just the way my mind goes. I cope through shit with dark shit, like dark humor. And that's my legal response. So, yeah, that shit is nuts. Like, the way people could just wild out over food. Like, I could guess if you were homeless, right? If you were homeless, hungry, starving. No, I can't even, no, never mind, because it was cold fries. It's not like they took your food away. Like, today I saw a seagull get his head ripped off from taking food from a seal. And I always thought seagulls were like really nice little creatures. Nope, that motherfucker ripped its head off. That was for Chris. So yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was real wild, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, that was a show. And that just let you know, like, even like anything can happen in life. Like, things that you think that you deem safe, like, aren't the safest. Speaking of not the safest, Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian broke up. Pete, you better stay strapped, buddy. Kanye's out there. He now has access to you now. Kim's security guards ain't gonna keep you safe, buddy. All that shit you were talking, good luck. So I wasn't supposed to talk about that shit, like Kim Kardashian, because like I'm pretty sure nobody gives a shit. But since we're here, Pete, you did the common mistake these chicks do, and you got a tattoo of somebody's name on your body, and now you gotta go get that shit removed. You fucking idiot. I don't know why people do that shit, man. I guess people fall in love pretty hard. Kind of like the people that I'm about to talk about next on the PTO. All right, so we're out of the cool report. Let's go on to the PTO section. Oh, also, if you notice my mic is doing better, it's because I have my settings wrong. This equipment right here is very temperamental. Mad annoying. So if you notice, I was like holding the microphone like a rapper in the last episode because it wasn't capturing everything. But now this one is fine-tuned to actually catch everything now. So, yay! I gotta download this. The Mero's gone. So let's go on to the first question. Siri, talk that shit.
So I was on a date with a girl that I met online, and on that date she told me she has a kids. Plural,
Okay.
not just one. And she could tell by the look on my face that it was over. She still asked if that was a deal breaker, and I replied yes. I've seen that McDonald's video.
So, I don't get your question. There wasn't really a question there. All right. I guess you're trying to ask me if that was a fucked up thing to do or if that seemed rude, I'm guessing. So, you went on a date with this girl. I'm assuming you were texting. And my bad. That was me. More comfortable. So you went on a date to get to know this girl better, and she told you she had kids, right? That's kind of good. Like, get that right out the way, ladies, because to be honest, there's been times where I talk to girls, and I really appreciate it though. Like, I'm not gonna kid myself. I'm in my 30s. Like, I'm not finding a chick that doesn't have kids. Like, I'm not fooling myself. I'm pretty sure there is a chick that doesn't have kids, but there's a good chance they already have a kid. I'm not doing a chick with more than 2 kids. Like, he's absolutely right in this question. He saw that McDonald's video. More different fathers bring issues. Like, if she has 2 kids from the same person, all right, cool. But if they're all different, nah, fuck that shit. Head for the hills, run away. They don't deserve love. They already had too much. Oh, that was so insensitive of me, but I fucking love it.
Oh, you hate it, but you love it so much.
Cause that's a burden, yo. Do you understand that that's a fucking burden? I'm off your topic. I'm sorry. The reason I say that's a burden, right? Because now I'm being selfish and I'm talking now. So I'm talking to this girl, right? Things are going great. She tells me she has kids. All right. How many? All right. You want to be my lover? Okay. I got to get with you. No, stop. So it's like, all right, now you want me to be your man and provide for your pre-made family? Fuck out of here. Like, let me
tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
That shit ain't happening, bro. Like I really got to be head over heels for your ass. Like, for real. Like you have to have like amazing head, like a bomb ass. And guess what? I'm still not gonna do it. I'm lying to you. I'm lying. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of responsibilities. Bitch, I ain't Spider-Man. Like, how you want me to take care of you and 3 other dudes' kids? Like, come on. Like, that's a wild thing for a girl to request. Like, yo, you better be friends with your vibrator. Like, I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to really want to step up for that. Because 1 kid for me is a limit. I could deal with 1 kid. Like, all right. Like, I get it. Like, it ain't work out. Shit happens. But if you got 3 baby fathers, you fucking stupid, bro. That means you ain't learned your lessons from the first one, which means you keep just making the same fucking mistakes. Sounds like I'm bashing now. But back to your question. No, I don't think you're wrong. I think it's very honest of you to let her know that, like, nah, that's a deal breaker. Like, it really is. And then from there, she could choose if she still wants to have relations or not. Clearly she does, because she has 3 kids already.
He's terrible, Your Honor. He's really terrible.
You know she's fucking, there's receipts there.
He's terrible, Your Honor. He's really terrible.
She's not using protection.
He's terrible, Your Honor. He's really terrible.
Yeah, fam. No, I get it. Like, I know I went on my side tangent, but I'm just answering you. Nah, I think, I don't know. That's really up to you. If you really want to deal with that, if you think, because I know some guys that are out there that really stepped it up. Like, all right. How can I put this? I seen guys step it up for the 1, maybe 2, but 3 or more? Nah. I've never seen that one. Like, I would assume that person would have to be super desperate to, like, get into that. Like, I don't know. Maybe, I guess this is one of those topics where, like, I guess, like I said before, like a panel of people, like last week, would be like, am I tripping with my answers? Am I going off? Am I really off in this conversation? Because as of right now, I'm telling you, nah, I think you good. I think you were in the best place to tell her, nah, she should have known, like, that's a lot. Also, another side tangent on this question, ladies with the kids. If you have kids and you're dating, yeah, you could tell me you have kids. I don't want to meet your kids no time soon. Like, I would say like a year. Because, like, anything can happen in 6 months. Like, do you know how crazy it is that when I'm on, like, this dating scene and, like, I'm asking, I'm like, oh, you got kids? And I'm like, they were like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. And then I hear, do you want to? No, that's too early. Like, that's a lot of questions. You can't introduce everybody to your kid. Like, that's nuts to me. The reason I say a year is because you really don't know who that person is. Like, I always say in the first year of in the talking stage, that person's lying to you. You're lying and they're lying, right? Because that's not who you really are. You're still trying to, like, make shit work, and then you're slowly unveiling your craziness to see if it's okay, because you just can't let all that shit go right away. You gotta, like, slowly put it out there. So excuse me, it's like, all right, so you're talking to somebody and, like, all right, great, here, you want to be my kids? And I'm like, you don't know that person from a hole in the wall. You, like, you really truly don't know that person. Like, that person could, like, be like a fucking child predator or some shit. And that's what you're exposing your kids to. That's what, like, a lot of girls that I talk to, like, the ones that were like, I'm like, I have a kid, but you're not, got it, smart. Like, the other girls that are too happy, I'm like, all right, nah, like, that's dangerous. Like, I want to be like, yeah, don't do that. Like, it's a crazy world out there. Like, you don't need to expose more people to that shit. Like, you don't need to expose your kids to that shit. Like wildin'. But yeah, I think it was good that you told her right from the bat, like, nah, that's not gonna work. So let's move on to the next one. All right, Siri, talk yo shit.
My girl likes drama, and I think I'm over it. Like, she puts us in drama, but I always end up fighting the person at the end. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I have many fights in me, and I know if I lose, I'll never hear the end of it.
You're goddamn right you'll never hear the end of that shit. So your girl likes drama. I've been there, brother. That shit is not cool. That shit sucks. And, yeah, I'm not the tallest, so do you know how crazy it is for her to go to a 6-foot guy that's brolic and go, my man will fuck you up? Who's your man? Because it ain't me. You going to have to fight your own battles in this shit, baby. Like, you're wildin'. Like, when you fight.
You are watching a master at work.
Because I ain't fighting for you, all right? Fucking buggy.
Oh, yeah, mama.
That's me laughing and running the fuck away. So, yo, those be the worst. She's short too, isn't she? Like, it's always those girls between the height of 4'9" and 5'4" that be looking for all the drama, and there's never a reason for it either. It's just they're bored. And I'm telling you right now, brother, head for the hills. You should leave that relationship. You shouldn't even be fighting. Your girl shouldn't even put you in a situation. I don't get why people don't get that. Your partner should never put you in a situation like that. Like, I could get, like, once in a while, like road rage, your girl will say some shit to somebody, and it's like, all right, calm down, babe. But all the time, nah. Because I had to deal with that once. This girl was always looking for that shit. Like, I like to, like, chill, be relax, mellow. And here she would go, like, oh, this person grabbed my ass. Okay. Point them out, I guess. Hey, don't do that. Okay. Like, you're wilding out, like, all the time. And, like, yeah. I remember one time she tried to go, like, we gotta fight 4 people at the same time. I'm like, nah. I was looking at the security guard, like, hey, man, you can't allow this to transpire on your property because it opens you up to get sued. Yeah, man. Like, that's a wild shit. And you're absolutely right. Because if you get your ass whooped, she gonna be talking hella shit. Hella shit. If you get your ass whipped and you wake up when your girl's not there, she probably left with that person that whipped your ass. Or she did pick you up. She did drag you to the car. You're going to be mad because you got fucked up. And then she's going to be like, I gotta go get them back and they could go fuck you up again. Like, yeah, that's no good. You should, that shit is toxic, bro. You should get away from that shit. Like I did. Like, that shit was not the best of times. My coolest chick that I ever had, it was always good times. And, like, you ever been with a chick that's been bad, that's way out of your league? Like, she was so way out of my league that I was walking through the club with her and people were giving me high fives. Like, that's you? I'm like, fuck yeah. So, yeah, that shit is fucking nuts. But those drama chicks, stay the fuck away from them. It's no good for your health, brother. Don't do it. Like, soon as you break up, no, fuck that. Let me help you out. So, before you do the breakup, you want to go to the precinct and you want to get a restraining order, right? You're going to enter her name and you're going to have the sheriff give it to her right around the time that you're breaking up in a public scene, all right? And then you get the fuck out of there. Because if she got hands too, you might not win that fight either.
You know the fucking vibes?
Shit. That was actually a pretty fun question. I like that question. Let's go on to the next question.
My husband is getting to the point where he doesn't like to do anything anymore. All he wants to do is stay home, watch TV, or play games. I try not to argue with him, but I need to get out of this house and do things I feel like my life is wasting away.
I just said that shit earlier. Man, fucking funny. Suspicious. That's weird. Let me see who sent this shit. Because I'm not a fucking husband. Oh, shit. All right. So, this is your husband. I really wish you would have wrote down how long you guys been together. Because, I don't know. This is tricky. Like, you guys don't go nowhere? Like, nowhere at all. Like, let me take a glance at this shit again. Hold up. My husband is getting to the point where he doesn't like doing anything anymore. Is he sad? Is he depressed? All he wants to do is stay home, watch TV, or play games. Same question. Is he sad? Is he depressed? I try not to argue. Thank you, but it sounds like you do. But I need to get out of this house. Understandable. And do things I feel like my life is wasting away. All right, you shouldn't feel like that. All right. I don't know who to address here. I'm going to address him, I guess. I guess you could give him the headphones or something. Bruh, if you're... Fuck that, I'll address both of you. If you're in a stagnant place, you should conversate with your partner, and maybe she might be able to get you out of that rut, but you have to be willing to accept the help. Also, unless you got a bitch, a girl always wants to make sure you're okay, that you're doing good, that you're fine, because whatever you're going through, it definitely affects her. Girls are very, I don't want to say needy, but give me a second. This is going to sound like a bad thing, but it's really not. But girls are needy, they're emotional, they need fucking attention, and for a good goddamn reason. Because what the fuck is the point of being in a relationship if you're not going to get any of that shit? Like, come on. Like, Kevin said it in the last episode, the human person needs at least 8 hugs a day. Girls probably need 16, but hey, you got to give it to them. Yeah, man, like I like playing video games too, but I also know that video games isn't my life. Like, I like having fun. I like doing shit. Like, I like watching TV. Like, sometimes you want to do that, but you can't do that shit all the time, man. You got to get out there and explore the world. Like, tomorrow, which is today, I'm going to go to the fucking floating pool. And I'm going to go enjoy the scenery. I'm going to go enjoy life, because life is too short. Like, let me give you some game. All right. So they got the floating pool in the Bronx. Free admission. Go do that. If not, they got a new art museum in Brooklyn that's immersive. So that means you're in the art, which means you're art. You and your girl are art. Right? Fucking fire. They have the drive-in movie theater in Brooklyn. Right next to the drive-in movie theater, there's a stack of shipping containers that they turned into apartments, and you could go spend that lovely evening in there. Just be careful of rats. There's just so much shit. They got cabanas at the Staten Island, around the edge of fucking Manhattan, that overlooks the Statue of Liberty, which is really nice, and the prices aren't crazy. Like, there's a bunch of things. Go on a picnic. Like, I feel like you got to get out of, if you're in a rut, you got to get out of the rut and go do shit. And, shorty, now you say you're not picking an argument, which is great, because you never know what your man's going through, and the last thing he needs to hear is like you putting him down, making him feel like he's not doing enough. You know that shit, because that shit's a shitty feeling. Like, if you're already down, you don't need more added to it. Like, you don't need your man looking at you like this bitch. Yeah, you don't need none of that. Like, that's a shitty feeling, and then y'all both in y'all feelings, y'all both angry and shit like that. So it might take some time, but if he's in a rut, you can get him out of that rut. Like, just slowly be nice, continue to be nice and shit like that. Now, if he's been in this way for a while, like he's not getting out of it, do therapy. That's the only thing I can think of, is like, therapy might be the salvation for you guys to talk shit out. He might, or for him to talk it out with a complete stranger. Because sometimes, like even this right here, like picture this. My cousin said I should start doing this, and I think I did it like 2 episodes ago, but I really should start doing this. This whole conversation that we're having, I'm not a therapist, right? I'm just giving you my opinions of what you could do. You don't have to take my actual opinion and like bring it to fruition unless you feel that it resonates with you, and then you could do whatever. But yeah, a lot of the times people just need somebody to talk to, whether it's somebody they know, somebody they don't know. Even this podcast, I have podcasts that I listen to where I have fucking whole blown conversations listening to that shit, and I'm like, that makes a lot of fucking sense. You know, that's cool, good information and shit like that. Yeah. So I would think therapy would help. If not, I don't want to sound like I'm telling you to go give up on your relationship, because that's not what I'm telling you to do, because I value relationships a lot. Am I in them? No. You want to know why? Because I value them a lot, because I'm toxic. So, yeah, like exhaust all your resources to like make that shit work. And if you can't, I'm sorry to hear that. Then do what you got to do. Like, that's all I can really tell you, is that you could do whatever makes you feel best. It's kind of like when I'm training at work, and I'm like, yo, everybody does things different. So the best thing you could do is take information from here, take information from there, and see what, mold them together and see what comes out of it and see what works best for you. So that's basically what I'm telling you to do, is see what works best for you. Because he could be going through something, I don't know. Maybe he's just a boring person too. It's hard to get those people out of their shells. They don't like doing shit. Like the biggest thing I always get, they're always like, it's like a compliment, but not really a compliment. But it was like, oh my God, it's so brave that you could go places by yourself. Yeah. I don't get why you can't do it, but it's all the same shit. Like, people always feel like somebody's going to stare at them, like somebody's going to judge them for being by themselves. If so, fuck them, because you're out enjoying life. And if they're not, they're out and they're fucking judging people. So they're not enjoying their life. So fuck them. Now, this conversation that we're having kind of reminded me of this Bobby Lee interview. And I think I kind of fit in the same boat with him. Because I think he was talking about him breaking up with his girl, right? But how can I put this? They broke up, but they didn't break up. So they technically broke up, but they still live together, right? Doesn't make any fucking sense. So they still live together. Every now and then they have intercourse. Every now and then they hug and cuddle and shit like that. No, they don't have intercourse. Every now and then they cuddle and talk and shit like that. But he doesn't feel the need. The reason he said he broke up, maybe because there was different conversations. I remember somebody saying that she was out there cheating while he was in rehab or shit like that. But he said they have an open relationship, which is like, all right. But it's not fair because Bobby Lee is ugly. So it's not a two-way street. Like, one's a dead end, and it's not her street because she's alright looking. So the whole thing that came out of this conversation was that he was saying that he's a selfish lover. And I'm like, go on. So I think video games is the theme here. So he said all he does is play video games and watch porn. And that's a wild thing, because you're technically self-fulfilling your own needs. So video games, I'm guessing endorphins are flying and shit like that. You're mentally stimulated, and then same thing goes for porn. So you're taking care of yourself, but not really them. So the reason I said me and him had some things in common is because I don't feel the need to conversate every day. Like, that's a bad thing. I don't know why. This girl said, I forgot, what the fuck did she say? She said there was a word for it. And there's always a word for something. But she said, yeah, I don't feel the need to like really interact with people and shit like that. I could go on being quiet and just to myself. And it's very fucking true. Like, I have no problem. There's people on my phone that I haven't talked to in weeks, and it's like, like, I'll talk to you whenever I talk to you. So, that made sense. But then where it started getting selfish is that he would like, because I'm very, oh, that's what you're gonna do? All right, cool. Like, just text me, make sure you're safe, shit like that. Like, me and him have that in common. What we don't have in common is that he was like, yo, basically, fuck your feelings, fuck your emotions, fuck what you want to do, fuck all that shit. I only give a shit about me. It was really self-absorbed. So when he looks back at his interview, I really hope that he noticed that he sounded like a dickhead and like an asshole. But he kind of admitted like that's why we're broken up. So yeah, that interview was kind of cool. It was the first time you could see like an actual human side of him. It's pretty nuts. So speaking of selfish, how can I feel like I want to start doing more for myself lately. Like I'm tired of like helping other people out. I think that's a really bad thing that I'm saying right now, but I feel like I've done a lot for other people, and I know you're not supposed to be like, all right, so you can. Nah, I'm really not looking for that, but certain people that I helped recently, fucking disappointment. Like you ever went out of your way to go like be kind and do something, and like they just do some dumb shit right in front of your face, and it's like, all right, we're not speaking again. Like, that's over. Like, I'm done. Like, it reminds me of that Eddie Murphy Raw line where his pops is talking, and his pops is like, I tell you cut an inch, you take 3. I tell you 4, you take 5. You give a motherfucker some rope, they want to be a cowboy. And that's exactly where I'm at right now, where it's like I'm doing too much. You're doing too much. Like, I'm fucking over this shit. Good luck with your endeavors and have fun with your shit. Because it's a lot. I feel like now I'm drained. I guess just kind of explain. I feel like this podcast is a little like on that notion too, but I don't know. But this doesn't mean I don't appreciate everybody that's giving me a hand. I fucks with y'all. I love y'all. Like I said in last episode, thank you to everybody that's been a part of this. Like, thank you for being part of this journey. I really wish if you guys were to ask me for something that I could help you in the best way that I possibly can, because you guys help me out so much. This is going for like Kevin, Samantha, Christopher, Miguel, Harmony, people that have been on the show like Shaq. Like if you like doing this media shit, and I love doing this media shit, I have no problem giving you a hand. Like, but the respect has to be mutual is basically what I'm saying. And like those people that I helped, the respect wasn't there, so it's their loss. So thank you to everybody that's giving me a hand with this shit. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully this episode was good enough. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you guys continue to like, comment, share, subscribe. I am your host, On My Cool J. I'm out. Peace.